In the news this evening, Kwale District earmarks 16 roads for rehabilitation as Sam Engola launches a separate roadworks in Agali. Otuke steps up reforestation drive to combat environmental degradation. Aleptong District moves to address teacher shortage amid high pupil numbers. And the disastrous situation in Gaza City, UN official says as Israeli tanks advance. Listen, I'm Steward Bua and the news now in detail. The Kwale District local government has earmarked 16 roads for rehabilitation and maintenance in the current 2025-2026 financial year in a move to address long-standing concerns over poor road conditions. Speaking in an exclusive interview with Radio Wa, the vice chairperson of Kwale District and the head of government business, Moses Angor, confirmed the development. Angor explained that 8 roads in Kwale South and 8 roads in Kwale North have been prioritized under the Uganda Road Fund, which has allocated 1 billion shillings to the district for the road works. He noted that the roads selected include both the district managed and sub-county managed roads that had been left unattended to in the last financial year due to funding constraints. Angor added that the district leadership is committed to ensuring that at least 1 bad road per sub-county in both Kwale North and Kwale South is worked on this financial year. Meanwhile, residents of Away-Nwech Ward have raised their concerns over the deteriorating state of Arau Road, which they say is seriously affecting mobility and local business operations. In a related development, former Erute South Member of Parliament Sam Hengola has embarked on a separate road rehabilitation initiative targeting 18 community roads in Agali Sub-County, Lira District. According to Mr. Robinson Ewany, the NRM chairperson for Agali Sub-County, the politician has already deployed a grader to begin the works, which will cover 2 roads in each of the 9 parishes. Ewany could not confirm the exact amount of money being spent on the project, but emphasized that the move comes in response to the public outcry over the poor state of the roads in the area. Oluo Dennis, a resident of Chamunyang Parish, also spoke to our reporter, stating that the recent heavy rains have severely damaged many roads, making transportation nearly impossible in some areas. Otuge District has intensified efforts to restore its degraded environment by embracing an afforestation program spearheaded by Kichani Forestry, a non-governmental organization. Speaking to Radio Wa, Francis Abola explained that the initiative follows the aftermath of the LRA insurgency, which left many residents returning from camps without a stable source of income. In their struggle to survive, locals turned to shina trees, valued for producing high-quality charcoal as a primary economic resource. Despite a government ban on the cutting of shea trees, Abola noted that many community members continue the practice, with a bag of shinata or shea charcoal fetching up to 100,000 shillings. The high market value has made enforcement of the ban difficult. To combat this, Kichani Forestry, in partnership with the district, has launched an afforestation campaign aimed at reversing the effects of deforestation and climate change. Tree seedlings of various species are now being distributed free of charge to the households with the goal of encouraging widespread participation in the tree planting. Abola emphasized the importance of involving every household in this reforestation effort, saying it is a key initiative to restoring Otuke's once favorable climate conditions. The district has also enacted a new ordinance prohibiting the cutting of shina trees. So far, 7 individuals have been arrested and imprisoned for violating the law. Abola warned that unchecked deforestation is turning Otuke into a desert and contributing to severe food shortages due to poor rainfall patterns. However, he remains optimistic that with the sustained tree planting and community involvement, He believes Otuke can recover its environment and secure a better future. Now moving on with the news, the Education Department of Aleptong District is taking steps in recruiting new teachers and replace those who have been transferred, promoted or relocated to urban areas. The move is aimed at narrowing the pupil-teacher ratio gap and improving the quality of education across the district. The development was confirmed by the Chief Administrative Officer, Mr. Franco Olaboro, in an exclusive interview with our reporter. Olaboro acknowledged that the teacher shortage is a pressing issue, not only for Aleptong district but across the country, and requires urgent government attention.
Now what now? Yeah, just now, what from those who are on replacement basis. We have a number of teachers who have decided to opt to go to the city. Some have gone to Kuru, some have gone to Lera City, and that's okay. Some have gone on promotions, some are just transfer studies. So we are now compiling a list and we are going to replace those ones. That's ones we will reach the level. I mean, what the education department, we can say that we serve it and we're able to replace those ones. Let us reach the Lord there, and that's quite a good number.
Mr. Laboro further explained that on September the 3rd, 2025, key district stakeholders, including the district planner and principal human resource officer, held a meeting with the teams from the Ministry of Public Service and the Ministry of Finance to discuss harmonization of wages, pensions and gratuities for the current financial year. He revealed that an analysis has already been completed, and the district is now in the final stages of submitting their findings to the Ministry of Finance, which will determine whether new recruitments can proceed. Olaboro also confirmed that the district recently recruited 28 new teachers who have since been deployed to schools with a high enrollment, such as Owalo and Angichkide primary schools.
We did analysis and now we are finalizing and then what to serve the feedback, whether there's room for we bring more staff or there's no room. We are finalizing on that. However, we recruited over 24 teachers just of recent, and we have deployed actually 28 and we deployed them on most of the school which are WhatsApp, most affected people like Anishakide, Awalo, but also what we realize that the enrollment in schools generally is high because of UPE. And we have made sure that we try to match the enrollment with the deployment.
However, he pointed out that Alanyi and Ajonyi primary schools remain among the most severely affected, with extremely high pupil numbers and a critical shortage of teachers. The district hopes that with the continued recruitment and government support, the teacher-pupil ratio will improve, ensuring better learning conditions with all the children in Aleptong learning effectively. In another news, Lera Main Prison, which serves the entire Lango sub-region, has reported a significant drop in its inmate population, according to prison authorities. This development comes just a month after a plea bargain session held in June 2025, where officials raised the concerns over congestion. At the time, Lera's central prison, originally built to house 120 inmates, was accommodating over 1,000 prisoners. Speaking to our reporter today's morning, the regional prisons commander for the Mid-Northern region, Senior Superintendent Godfred Kumakech, confirmed the reduction in the inmates' numbers.
And not only plea bargain session, we even have high court session, 2 parallel high court sessions that have been running. One just concluded on Friday, and another one is due to commence today. And after the second high court session, it will be followed again by another plea bargain session, and the number has drastically dropped down. And I think the alarming situation is now of a relief today. The situation is no longer alarming.
SSP Komakech attributed the decline to the recently concluded plea bargain exercise held at Lera Main Prison. He explained that during the session, many inmates were convicted and subsequently transferred, while others had their cases dismissed due to lack of evidence. Some were granted bail and are now attending court proceedings from their homes. He further noted that the ongoing High Court session is expected to reduce the numbers even further as more cases are being processed effectively and efficiently. Commander Kumakech reaffirmed the prison service commitment to supporting the judicial system and ensuring that justice is delivered fairly and promptly. Now we are moving to international news, but before that, new reports reaching our news desk just right now indicate that the NRM Youth and Entrepreneurs League elections went on successfully across districts in Lango sub-region this evening. According to the provisional results, Tanga Collins, the son to the chairperson electoral commission of the party, is still ahead to be the National Youth League chairperson. More of this news will be coming up in our subsequent news bulletin, but that is the new report reaching us just right now. Let's continue and get to the international news.
International news.
Now in the world scene, the situation in Gaza City is nothing short of disastrous. A UN official has told the BBC as Israeli tanks and troops continue to advance on the third day of a ground offensive. Olga Cherveko, a spokesperson for the UN's humanitarian office, said that she had seen a constant stream of Palestinians heading south during a recent visit to the city, but that hundreds of thousands remained. The World Health Organization, WHO, warned that overwhelmed hospitals were on the brink of collapse because it was being prevented from delivering life-saving supplies. The Israeli military said its forces were dismantling terror infrastructure and eliminating terrorists in Gaza City. It has said its objectives are to free the hostages still held by Hamas and defeat up to 30,000 fighters in what it has described as the group's main stronghold. However, the offensive on Gaza's biggest urban area, where 1 million people were living and a famine was confirmed last month, has drawn widespread international condemnation.
Bua Sports on 89.8 FM for updates on the latest sports news.
Former Chelsea star partner Venus blamed two players, Tosin Adraibio and Trevor Chalobah, after the Blues UEFA Champions League 3-1 defeat to Bayern Munich on Wednesday yesterday. Recall that 2 goals from Harry Kane and another 1 goal from Chalobah gave Vincent Kompany's side to win against Chelsea at Allianz Arena. Cole Palmer has scored a goal against the Bundesliga side during the encounter. Speaking on the BBC Radio 5 Live after the game, Nevin criticized the defensive performance of Tosin and Chalobah during the match, suggesting that they allowed Kane to cruise away. Chelsea will now shift their attention to the Premier League as they will face Manchester United in the Premier League this weekend. To end this edition of the news here on Radio Bua this evening, listener, let's have the recap of the main points. Kwale District here marks 16 roads for rehabilitation as Sam Engwala launches separate road works in Agali. Otuke steps up reforestation drive to combat environmental degradation. Kwale Amina Leptong District moves to address teacher shortage amid high pupil numbers. And disastrous situation in Gaza City, UN official says as Israeli tanks advance. This now brings us to the climax of this edition of the news here on Radio Bua. I'm Steward Bua. Thanks for listening. Next will be Vision for Peace, Muse Vincent Howling and the team, being hosted by Haruba Wotmoya, will be in the studio next.
That was the news on 89.8 FM Radio 1.